Hi everyone, I'm Karen Fuller with THV 11's Wake Up Central Morning Show. We're so happy you're here on THV 11 Plus. When the temperatures drop, the cold can bring on more than a chill. It raises some questions like how winter affects our bodies and what's the best way to stay safe and warm. In our Verify reports, we look at the facts and clear up common misconceptions. What's true, what's myth, and what to know this season. Let's find out. If you're about to go for a morning run in this cold, you'll want to dress for the weather. And since we've been dealing with such frigid temperatures, we wonder, does working out in colder weather burn extra calories?
As your body works harder to keep you warmer, you'll burn more calories.
This TikTok user claims that running outside in the cold helps to burn more calories than on a more temperate day. But does the science support the idea that exercising in cold weather lets your body shed more calories? Let's verify. Our sources are the American Sports Fitness Association, a study in the American Journal of Human Biology, and sports medicine doctor David Geyer. Dr. Geyer says working out in cold or heat each have different benefits. For burning calories, he says colder weather can shed a few more, though not a significant amount. A study in the American Journal of Human Biology found that people hiking in temperatures below freezing burn 34% more calories than those in temperatures above 50 degrees. The colder it is outside, the harder your body has to work to generate heat and keep you comfortable. This is done in two ways. The first is by shivering. Shivering is an involuntary muscle movement that generates heat, raising your body temperature. It uses extra energy, burning more calories. The second way to stay warm is through non-shivering thermogenesis, which contributes to weight loss by activating brown fat tissues. Dr. Geyer says a workout in the cold is fine as long as you prepare for the changes in your body's thermal regulation.
Now, I would do it by wearing layers rather than one big, thick, insulated coat and maybe insulated running pants. Do it in multiple layers. So as you start to warm up, then you can take those layers off and then potentially get some of the benefits of the cold exposure.
So we can verify that yes, working out in colder weather can burn more calories than in less frigid conditions. The cold in Arkansas brings up the old debate over the thermostat. What's the most comfortable yet affordable number? And it also means the risk of a home fire goes up. According to the National Fire Protection Association, December through February are peak months for fires related to heating your home. And space heaters account for a third of these fires. When the winter wind blows through central Arkansas, we all look for ways to stay warm. Whether you're at the office or in your home, many people turn to space heaters as a cost-effective option to be cozy without turning up the thermostat. Space heaters come in all sizes and provide just the right amount of heat to take the chill from the air. But many viral posts on social media claim plugging a space heater into extension cords or power strips can start a fire. So, is it unsafe to plug space heaters into extension cords or power strips? Let's verify. Our sources are the American Red Cross, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, the National Fire Protection Association, the Electrical Safety Foundation, and the product and review website Tom's Guide. Space heaters require a high electrical current. Our sources say most extension cords and power strips are not designed to handle the load, so plugging in a space heater can cause the cord or strip to overheat and start a fire. Instead, our sources say the safest way to use your heater is by plugging it directly into a wall outlet with no other devices plugged in with it. The Electrical Safety Foundation says plugging multiple devices into the same outlet can also cause overheating and a possible fire. This means we can verify that yes, space heaters plugged into extension cords or power strips can be fire hazards. And there are other safety tips when using a space heater. One precaution is making sure it sits on a level, non-flammable surface like a tile floor. If your home is carpeted, the experts say it's worth it to buy a hard material on which to place your space heater. Keep the unit 3 feet or more away from anything that can burn, like fabric, curtains, or paper. And only use it while you're awake and in the room. It's not meant to be left running overnight. With winter weather here, you may be reaching for a tissue more often. This is the season for colds, and scientists say there are more than 200 viruses out there. There's also the old wives' tale that going out in the cold can make you sick. And a quick online search shows people wonder if there's some truth to that. Most everyone of any age is at risk for the common cold. It starts during fall and winter when the seasons change and the mercury drops down into the chillier numbers. Each year, millions of adults and children in the United States come down with a common cold. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports the average child may catch between 6 to 10 colds a year, with adults averaging 2 to 4 of the annoying respiratory nuisances. But is it true that people can catch a cold just by feeling chilled or being wet? Let's verify. Our sources are the American Lung Association, the CDC, Johns Hopkins Medicine, and the Cleveland Clinic. All of our sources agree that colds are easy to catch and spread quickly from person to person. Johns Hopkins Medicine says you're at risk for a cold if you breathe in particles carrying illness that travel through airborne droplets coughed or sneezed by someone who's sick. You could also touch a surface that's contaminated. If a sick person grabs a doorknob, then you grab it too and touch your eyes, nose, or mouth, the virus has found a way in. Experts say the old wives' tale connecting colds to feeling cold or having wet hair is better attributed to the greater risk of exposure to viruses by sheer numbers of people gravitating to the warm inside. The Cleveland Clinic also points out that home heating and humidity can contribute to colds. Running the heat dries out the house and can dry out our sinuses too. The clinic says when your nose is not producing enough mucus flow, the immune system has to work harder to fend off a virus. So we can verify that no, being cold or failing to wear a hat over a wet head will not make you contract a cold. If you are looking for some sage advice, follow that of your mother, who has surely told you to wash your hands. It's one of the easiest, surest ways to keep from catching the dreaded cold. Out and about in Arkansas, you see just about anything. Police pulling over speeders, trucks overloaded with gravel, or suddenly your tire pressure light comes on. It's a lot to think about. What's legal? What's common sense? Or what's just plain risky? We verify the rules of the road and what every driver in Arkansas should know. Maybe this has happened to you. You're driving down an Arkansas road and find yourself behind a truck hauling rocks, debris, or any kind of material that could easily dent your windshield or worse because it's not covered. A THV 11 viewer has a question about it and what can be done if it happens to you. Arkansas roadways are important to the state's commerce, getting goods from one place to another. But if you should see a truck with a load that's open and not properly secure, you'll want to move out of the way. It's a potentially dangerous traffic safety issue just waiting to happen. THV 11 viewer Connie wrote to us asking, is there a law that requires dump trucks to have a cover over sand or gravel when transporting on the highway? Connie, let's verify. Our sources are the Arkansas Department of Public Safety, the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration, and Arkansas Code. A safety statement on the Arkansas Department of Public Safety website cites a study by the AAA Foundation that found more than 200,000 crashes over 4 years are attributed to road debris. It says that an object falling from open cargo at 55 miles an hour can hit another car with the force of 1,000 pounds on impact. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, all 50 states and the District of Columbia have laws regarding unsecured loads. Violations carry state-specific penalties with fines up to $5,000. Arkansas Code says, quote, covers are required for loads of sand, gravel, or rock, and that no vehicle shall be driven or moved on any highway unless the vehicle is so constructed or loaded as to prevent any of its load from dropping, sifting, leaking, or otherwise escaping therefrom. So we can verify that, yes, Arkansas does mandate that cargo from rocks to trash to debris is to be properly secure and kept from escaping the back of the truck. Chief Jeff Holmes of the Arkansas Highway Police confirms to THV 11 that authorities are always watching for any signs of a violation. He says, quote, material spilling on the highway is a top priority for all Arkansas law enforcement agencies, and it's checked whenever Arkansas Highway Police officers stop commercial vehicles. Being pulled over by law enforcement can be intimidating, whether you make a simple mistake or violate Arkansas law outright. Seeing the flashing lights in your rearview mirror is not to be taken lightly. This morning, we verify the rules of the road when those lights are shining on your car. Arkansas is home to more than 3 million people, and according to RDOT, more than 2.5 million vehicles are registered in the natural state. That's a lot of people and a lot of traffic at any given time. Chances are some of those drivers will be caught breaking a law or two. THV 11 viewer Stephen asks, is there a limit of how far you can go when getting pulled over by police? Stephen, let's verify. Our sources are the Arkansas State Police, the Department of Public Safety, and the City of Morrilton Police Department. Taking your driver's exam and passing it is a good feeling and a rite of passage in life, but it's not uncommon to forget some of what you learned in the license exam. One rule most all drivers remember is what's expected of you in a traffic stop. Whether you're on an Arkansas interstate or a city street, when you see those flashing lights behind you, there's no other option than to pull over. Verify reached out to Captain Brad Land of Arkansas State Police and Morrilton Police Chief Sonny Stover. Both say their officers follow the same safety protocol. Captain Land says they train troopers on selecting the safest location to initiate a traffic stop, adding, quote, "It may be that we observe a violation but have to wait a minute or so before we signal for the violator to pull over." Captain Land says if a driver doesn't feel they have the room to move to the right side of the road, it's important to let the trooper know you're at least aware they're waiting on you. He says, quote, "Reduce your speed and activate your right turn signal. This will alert the trooper that they have intentions of pulling over." In city traffic, there may be even less room. Police Chief Sonny Stover in Morrilton says some drivers will stop in the road if there's no safe location or shoulder. If that happens, he says, quote, "The officer will either approach the vehicle and instruct the motorist to move to a safer location or announce it over the public address speaker." So we can verify there's no set distance limit on how far you can drive before stopping. Going too far, and you're pressing your luck, but you must use the right blinker to signal to law enforcement you do intend to stop. Shelling out money at the pump to keep our cars running is one of life's necessary evils. While Arkansas typically ranks higher among states with lower gas prices, wouldn't it be nice to know a hack that could save a few bucks on each fill-up? Turns out there are claims online suggesting adding a little something extra to the air in your tires could save you money and help the environment too. It's that time of year in Arkansas. Morning and overnight temperatures hover at or below freezing, and that means you'll likely see the tire pressure system light come on when you start your car. These lights appear when the air outside is cold, causing the air in your tires to contract and lose pressure temporarily. The lights typically go off once the car has been running for a minute or two. But they may also be telling you some critical safety information. You might have a tire that's underinflated or worse, leaking. That's when it's best to use a pressure gauge to check for the proper PSI or pounds per square inch for your vehicle, a number you'll find pasted on the inside panel of the driver's side door. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, of the nearly 11,000 tire-related crashes each year, more than 600 are deadly. For extra reassurance, more and more people are turning to nitrogen to fill up their tires. Nitrogen is the most common gas in the atmosphere and a larger molecule compared to the oxygen in regular compressed air, making it slower to seep through tires. It's something professional race car drivers have been using for years for its stability in temperature changes and its durability in their fast-moving tires. So is it true that putting nitrogen in your tires will keep them from losing pressure? Let's verify. Our sources are AAA, Popular Mechanics, Consumer Reports, and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Tires are made from rubber, and the compressed air most of us fill them with already contains around 78% nitrogen. But to achieve the benefits of nitrogen tires, that number needs to be a minimum of 93% or higher. Those benefits include slower leakage, more consistent pressure, better fuel efficiency, and overall handling, plus a longer tire lifespan. But nitrogen, for the most part, is not free. It costs more than regular air, averaging $5 to $10 per tire. And while it should last longer than air, assuming your tire doesn't have a leak, it's not immune to the changes in temperature, so you could still see the tire sensor light come on. Consumer Reports and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration each conducted studies on compressed air-filled tires versus those with nitrogen. The results show a stronger case to be made for nitrogen in tire pressure heavy-duty applications, such as large commercial trucks, airplanes, or race cars. For passenger cars, each study found that consumers are better served to save their money and use regular air, but check their tire pressure every month. So we can verify that no, for the average driver, the cost and limited availability of nitrogen fueling stations is outweighed by the benefit of regular pressure checks and keeping tires properly inflated. By ensuring your tires are free of damage and operating at maximum efficiency, the need for nitrogen is more a preference than a preventative maintenance. Thank you for watching our Verify reports. From staying safe on the roads to staying healthy in the cold, keeping you informed is our goal. And if you have a question, send it in to verify@thv11.com. Plus, check in again soon for new Verify stories on Wake Up Central or here on demand on THV 11+.